Hi Jared, this is for you. So I have copied and pasted your logo into Illustrator, and the first thing I notice is this type came through. See, if I click on it, there's an underline. That means it's still type, whereas this one you have actually outlined and made it into a shape. So I can see that this font size is slightly different to this one over here, and it's not quite sitting on the same baseline. If I was to zoom in and bring the ruler down, it would show me that. Up here, see this pink area here? That's showing me that there's maybe a font that you have that I don't have downloaded onto my computer, so I'm not sure if this is the same look as what you had actually selected. So a few things about the logo. So I'm going to show you how to do the outlines in Adobe Illustrator and talk about things like that. So firstly, I'm going to Control 0 to show me the full screen, and then I will click and drag from the top left corner down to the bottom right to select everything with the selection tool selected, and then I'm going to go to Object, Lock, Selection. Okay, so that's now all in place, so now I can be drawing on top of it to trace your design. So if I was doing this, I would get the pen tool, and I would say you might want to have a color of, say, red, something that stands out on top of the black. So whatever color you choose, blue. So I'm going to start somewhere on here. So I'll start about here. So I'm going to click, I'm holding down the mouse while I drag in a forward direction. These are just, so they determine which way the line curves. So I don't want to put it further than the curve. You don't want to have big long arms, so you need to control that. Usually have them pointing in the direction that you're going. So I'm going to do that there, and then I'm going to do one up near the corner and just do a tiny little arm that's bending around the corner, and then one on the other side here. Okay, so what it's starting to do, because I have a white fill, so if I click on that, it will give me no fill. So then I can just see the line. Also, it's a bit harder to get accurate detail if your line is too thick while you're doing this part of it. So Window, Workspace, Essentials Classic is there. So then we go to Window and we go down to Stroke. Okay, so there's my stroke there. So I might do something like 0.15. Okay, so now I've got a nice fine stroke. It makes my work more accurate. It's also better to zoom in when you're doing any sort of work, because your lines will become more accurate. Okay, so with the pen tool, if I want to reconnect, I just click onto that point there, which is a line, and then I can go all the way across here because it's a straight line. And I'll stop about there and just do a little arm. If I don't do the arm, I'm going to get sharp curves. So then I'll click on this side and follow that curve, and then just click on the arrow to move it down. And then I'm going to go down here and click on this side of the curve with an arm. Just make sure it's following the same direction. And then on the other side, and then close it off. So you'll see the little circle when it's closed off. So now I have a shape. Now, if I'm not happy with that, and if I want to change things, see, this curve here is more rounded than this one here. So I could get the direct selection tool, and I can click on this, and I can move it, say, down here, and then I can drag this up there. So you can play around with it until you're happy with it. Okay, so that's one line done. So then I can just Object, Lock, Selection. So I'm just going to lock that into place now. Now, if you're doing these curved lines, I would get the pen tool, and I would actually click on the line. You want to have it joining. So click on the line here, click over here, and then hold down the mouse until you get a curve that you like. Click on the direct selection tool. So, and click on this node up here. I can't quite see it. Here it is. And so if I want to move that, just make sure you've got it on top of the line, and that's another reason why you should have thin lines. Okay, if I want to maintain the same curve, I can copy paste and then I can just drag this same one down. So then you've sort of got consistency. Or another way of doing it is click on there and hit the Alt key and then the Shift key, so it goes down in the same spot. See how it's giving a consistent line? So that's something else you could do. Or you can simply just copy and paste. And if you wanted to trace exactly what you have, you can put it into place. You can rotate it. So if you hover near a corner, then it will do that for you. Copy paste. But I'll probably keep a consistent pattern. And then rotate again. So with these lines, you can do things like direct selection tool, and you can always click on here if you want to and shorten them. This is for the arm, the handle, so I can just click on there. Copy paste. And with the direct selection tool, click on there and drag it in. Now see this arm, it's going further than the actual line, so it's doing a big loop. So if I take that back there, that will fix that up. So I'm going to show you what happens next. So I'm going to object unlock all. Now this will be difficult because really all I want is the ice cream. So I'm just going to click on these to select them all. Group. Just going to check. No, they're not all selected. So you hold down the Shift key every time you want to add to the group. So if I click on one item here, the outside, bottom line, if I miss it, then it disappears. See, I'm clicking the background instead, which is another reason why I should zoom in. Okay, I'm going to stop this recording and then I'll do another one to show you the next step.